Alright, are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Sure.
Good, because I started recording before I said that. Welcome to the
Uh,
boardroom. It's August 13th. And we're doing an episode past number 6, despite what we said we would. And despite the errors in the first episode that got posted, which was 5 hours long because I didn't clear the timeline in advance. So there is 1 hour of content. There is then 4 hours of blackness, followed by like a quick 60-second clip of someone playing a video game, and then
no,
ending.
no, no. It was much longer than 60 seconds. It was a good, 5 to 10 minutes at least of somebody consistently failing at Celeste until you got to the very end.
All I have to say is that's basically what my Celeste gameplay looks like at this point. It's very much more difficult than it was at the start.
I will say the parts I had to watch while editing actually looked pretty decent, as you were able to complete some stuff like without dying once between checkpoints, which I found pretty interesting and entertaining. What do the strawberries in Celeste do?
So they unlock different endings, apparently,
Oh, I
which
see.
I thought was really cool afterwards. So like there's the no strawberry ending. So I don't think I showed it in the actual video, but basically all it is when you like finish the game, climb the mountain, you go and make a pie for everyone, and the type of pie you make depends on how many strawberries you make or how many strawberries you collected.
Is it a strawberry pie by chance?
Well, it's a
It's a
strawberry pie,
peach
but
pie,
if
you
you have
idiot.
yeah, if you have no strawberries at the end, they're just like, what the fuck is this? Sorry. um, and yeah, so the strawberries are that, and then they're also just to like add a challenge, and there's achievements for like collecting all the strawberries. There's also tape recorders, B-sides, that unlock a harder version of the level,
Oh my god.
and then there's also a secret heart on every level because of the DLC. And if you get the heart on every level, it unlocks more and more DLC. So that's why now I'm going back through and have to unlock all these hearts.
Oh my god. So, let me get this straight. When you ended the game, how many strawberries did you have?
When I ended the game originally, I had 111 strawberries.
Out of?
Uh, like 180, 190.
Okay.
And I was going for them. The issue is like, you can sometimes see it in the gameplay from the past few episodes, but like, there'll just be like a random block that looks out of place and you have to hit it and there's a strawberry in it. Like, you can walk past them so easily, you have to be paying so much attention, and your first time playing through, you just don't know what you're looking for. So,
Hey.
it's a fun time.
Alright, have you been playing anything else, Motorboat? Because we've apparently gotten into this topic, so...
Just Celeste and League. So, and there'll probably be more Celeste gameplay because I still have not figured out how to make League gameplay editable.
you can just hand it off to me, but you'll get like at most 10 minutes, and it'll be a very boring 10 minutes, because anytime someone goes in a rampage, blur that. Anytime you die, blur that. Just get good, you know?
Yeah.
But not good enough, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, you can't die, you just need to go on an assist spree for everything. Alright, then, Melly, what have you been playing?
Fallout 4. I finally got to the highway.
Yay! Now, what part of the game are you on?
I don't know. Because before I went through the highway and stuff, I went and did basically all of the Far Harbor DLC. So that was fun. Then I came back, went to the highway, met up with Deacon and that kind of stuff. Now I'm at the Institute, and I haven't joined the Institute, but they're letting me walk around, even though I literally told them that I'm not gonna join like 3 times, and that I hate them, and that I'm probably gonna end up like trying to kill all of them. They still let me walk around the place. That's fun. And no one's hostile or anything like that.
So,
If I remember correctly, I think the ideal move is just to randomly kill people in the Institute until you get kicked out.
Well, and
I
then
think that's the fastest method to further along the other factions.
well, and then part of the thing was I went with like I asked Sturgis, who's part of the Minutemen, to help me build the teleporter thing to help me get in, and he gives you like a holotape and he's like, hey, just put this in a computer, it downloads a bunch of stuff off the network and then give it back to me. I'm like, okay, sweet, that'll be cool. Literally like 2 feet after the like I teleported in, there was a computer. I plugged it in, I ran whatever thing, so I got all the information, walked around, talked to the director and everything, while I had all of the information on their database in my pocket. And he's like, oh yeah, and here's a code so you can teleport in and out of here whenever you want. And I teleported back to, or fast traveled back to, Sanctuary and met up with Sturgis and gave it to him. He's like, hey, thanks. This will be really useful in discerning how to take them down and like that kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, they literally just let me walk in, plug in a USB to download all of their vital information, and let me teleport in and out of there. Story-wise, not the smartest. But, you know, it's fun.
Sounds like they could have used a password. Passwords are useful. Use them, people.
Well, they do have a password on the father's computer. You do have to have a password in order to just self-destruct the entire institute. So I haven't gotten that yet. So they do have some security.
they should the institute should really start using LastPass so they can come up with more complex ones, and just have one dude remember that master password or two.
Mm-hmm.
Is that our non-official sponsor for this week?
LastPass, you should use it because you're probably using crappy passwords. It's great. I use it all the time. We're not sponsored by them.
I have 3 passwords for everything. That's more than I used to have. I used to only have 1.
You are the absolute worst.
Password 123 and password 123.
No, please. It's password 123 exclamation point.
Or you just gotta do password PASSWERD.
Ugh.
Alright, Magic.
Wordy one.
What's up?
I have been playing a handful of games this week, but I'll continue on with my discussion of Dinosaur King, as that is the one that I'm trying to finish. So I'm still going through the third area, and contrary to what I was thinking and explaining why I totally forgot about the mechanic, the addition of a secret option for everybody has not really come much into play in terms of the single-player campaign. So basically, the NPCs don't do anything really with it unless they're like bosses, or they run out of the ability to use a move. So unfortunately, it has proved to be pretty lame for them in terms of like changing up the strategy. In terms of the player, though, it does offer you the opportunity to have like a buffing move or something, or like a backup move, instead of just having 3 moves. On the Great Zoe Search and Find, the Where's Waldo of the game. So far, she only pops up at the beginning of a chapter to tell you, "Oh no, the bad guys are doing bad things in this location. Go there, do thing." And then she gets like her dinosaur stolen at some point where I'm at, and that's the extent of her existence so far.
I'm telling you, at the end, she's gonna be the main villain. You're gonna regret getting her dinosaur back. Oof.
You know, I mean, I would like that. I think that'd be kind of funny. But you see, she was kind of one of the good guys in the arcade game and in the TV show. And I know that this game has absolutely nothing to do with either one, but they also aren't really making anything any surprising developments. The level of subtle of this game is like so there's like an entire part where I'm at where there's like a guy who's being accused of being a bad guy, and then you go to go through the first area and you're just walking around, and then this bad guy name here helped me in this situation, and then you go around, and then like these are unavoidable confrontations, by the way. And then you move to the next area, and it's like, this bad guy name here did help me out in this situation. And then the next one is like, this bad guy did bad things. Those people were lying to you, even though they're direct first-hand accounts. And then, so basically, the surprise villain is probably too advanced for the plot of this game. I played for the mechanics, not for the story.
Yeah, but they can still have better rating, probably.
Yeah, it's pretty badly written for a child's game, I will admit that.
You've been playing other things, you said?
Yes, but I'd like to play them more before saying anything about them.
You can just tease us.
All right. I've finally started playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 1.
How many citizens have you killed?
Wait a minute. The very, very first Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Cause I guess I could go into this fun story. Cause that's the only way to get Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 is to get the pack with Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Because
Really?
Atari is a terrible company. They went and cheated out the guy who came up with Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and the company that created Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 out of a lot of money. So basically, instead of fixing how much money that they give, they're just like, okay, we'll just stop selling Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and now you have to buy it with our other games. And yeah.
So wait, which Roller Coaster Tycoon game did you want?
The third one, because that's the one I grew up with.
But you're playing the first one.
Yes, because I've beaten the third one, and I want to play the other ones.
Ah. Okay, I thought you were playing you wanted the third one, you were playing the first one
There's
just
absolutely no linked plot. No, this is a tycoon game.
Yeah, I know.
Story-based epic.
I didn't know if you had gone crazy and were just like, I have to play them in chronological order because
Well, okay, I'm only playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 in chronological order, because it's pretty much the same game, but with slightly updated, like, information, so there's more stuff in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. That's the only difference between them. It's the same graphics, same everything else, pretty much. So that's the only reason I'm playing 1 before 2.
Gotcha.
So you can appreciate the improvement in quality.
Sort of. I'm also going to be using a mod called OpenRCT2, which is basically, the game's so old that a modding community came together and made it so that the game is better, as in it, like, runs better. The AI is improved drastically, and you can do more with, like, controlling rides and stuff.
You can kill
there's
more
like a
random
fun,
civilians.
like there's a fun pathing issue in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, the base, where they won't turn around, but they have like a preference into what direction they want to go in, and because of that, if you make a hedge maze in a specific way, you can trap people in there indefinitely.
Oh god, I think I saw that video on YouTube.
And they patched it in the OpenRCT2, for instance. But they also did things like...
Why would you patch something like that?
why would you
sounds
patch
so
something
fun.
like that? It's almost like it improves the game drastically by not locking people inside of hedge mazes for no discernible reason. But it also allows you to do things like update rides by just clicking a button, because you get people pay or want to pay less for rides if it's been sitting around for a while. So it's basically a delete the entire ride but rebuild it exactly the way it was, so the game thinks that it's a brand new ride button. And fun shenanigans like that. The game is very old looking, and it's the weirdest difficulty, where it's like you can pretty much do anything as long as you... No, you can pretty much do anything and succeed. It's not very difficult, but it's more of like the self-imposed challenges that make it more fun than the actual challenges. Unlike the latest installments, like in 3, where they actually have challenges that are somewhat challenging and possible to fail. In the first one, you can get infinite loans. Like there's nothing stopping you. It just costs you like an extra like $3 or $4 a month. So there's literally nothing stopping you from just increasing your loans to an indefinite amount and just, building shit until the park's done.
Oh man, I also wasn't the first Roller Coaster Tycoon done in assembly, which is basically coding things in binary.
Assembly is in between binary and C++.
Yeah, but it's like...
So but also, RCT2 is also in assembly.
Was it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because it's basically the same game.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, it's kind of funny with the coding. But yeah, it's kind of fascinating, the fact that they programmed it in assembly of all things.
Alright. Anything else you'd like to add?
Not particularly, no.
Alright, so, this week, I played a few games. I played like 5 minutes of Robot Roller Derby Disco Dodgeball before getting upset and quitting. Mostly because I forgot how to play the game. I played a lot of Rebel Inc. Escalation because I'm trying to just achievement hunt at this point. Campaign mode is very, very difficult. And playing Risk of Rain 2, because it released to 1.0 not that long ago. And it's a pretty miserable experience. I very clearly have a half-baked game. Magic could also have put in headphones again, your bleeding sound again. I used to really like this game, and now things don't feel right. So, for example, it's a roguelike, so every time you die, the game resets, okay? They released the final level, okay? And one of the things in Risk of Rain is, you fall off the edge, right? That's no big deal. It happens to everyone. You just take a little bit of fall damage and you keep going, okay? You can't die from fall damage. The very last level, they made it so that if you fell, you could get stuck in an area. And if you didn't have mobility options, you would be stuck on a platform that you could not live on, that you could not get off of because you didn't have any mobility. And you couldn't die because you can't, jump off and kill yourself because you can't die from fall damage. So that's a little frustrating. I tried fighting the final boss and it was just one of the most boring fights ever. In the first Risk of Rain, it was really cool because you were trapped in this small little environment with a dude who's just constantly hounding you. But in this, I just had so much space to run around in. I eventually died, but I'm not sure how I died, honestly.
You can't die. I died, but I don't know how I died.
No. It's not a fun fight, alright? I spend most of my time, half the map away from the final boss, and then when he gets close, I just dash away, and then I keep spending the rest of my time away from the final boss, and it's just not an enjoyable time. Like, yeah, it's I spent like 10 minutes whittling the boss down, and it's just the most upsetting thing to me is they said we have no known issues for the game when they launched it. It is a perfect game. Other thing. So there's a character you unlock by beating the game. Okay. One of his abilities is the fact that he's the captain of a ship in orbit and he can call down orbital strikes. The ending mission takes place on the moon. So 2 of his 4 abilities you can't use because, you're on the moon instead of on the planet. So they just kneecapped him for and like the orbital strikes work underground, and like it just feels so bad. Like, oh god. Like, I changed my Steam review from positive to negative. I really, really... And with that, we'll get into the news, because... Apple confirms it won't allow game streaming services like xCloud and Google Stadia on iOS devices because they have their own, and you can go screw off and go to Android if you want those streaming services. We're Apple. We're making things perfect here. Yeah, cool. Way to go, Apple. Not much to say there, really. Cool, no input. Alright, so then, moving on. Big YouTube accounts are being plagued by hackers promoting Bitcoin scams resembling the hack that compromised Twitter. Unsurprisingly, there's a lot of copycat hackers going around doing their best to try and steal the same amount of Bitcoin that got a Florida teenager accused of 30 felonies.
Because clearly he didn't do it the right way. They gotta show us how to do it the right way.
Yep. Elon Musk is giving back 5,000 Bitcoins giveaway. If you give 1 Bitcoin, you will receive 2 Bitcoin back. Like, oh my gosh. Don't fall for it, kids. Don't fall for it. The news this week is pretty anemic. Xbox Series S is outed by a controller box. That's what it's called. It's gonna be diskless. That's literally all we know. We can also lump in some other fun news for this. Microsoft is announcing that the Xbox Series X will be launched in November. No surprise there. Like, what other time frame would they do? I don't think they gave a specific... Yeah, no, they just said November. Wow, they didn't give a specific launch date. Cool, of course. Yep. And then, in addition to that, they're postponing Halo Infinite, which it's a good thing, because it looked like crap.
Are you saying you didn't like that one?
Look, Craig was great. All right, it was Master Chief I had a problem with.
Going back to the thing being outed by a controller, though, I liked how it was, a guy, like, the guy who outed it was trying to just, from what I read, he was getting, like, he got the controller, he's like, yeah, this is a good controller, and he was kind of just reviewing the controller, and then in the pictures that he sent to, like, whatever, Ars Technica, photos, because he was just like, yeah, this is a nice controller, like, this is the, manual, this is the power button. It was, like, in the controllers, in the photos that he sent.
Yep.
That was like, oh yeah, this is a whole thing now.
Yep, he just didn't realize that... It also already works with all the old controllers. Which is contrast into Sony, where Sony's like, yeah, the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 controllers, not compatible at all. Nope. Not surprised.
But you said earlier, though, that you would prefer, like Sony and Microsoft just straight up moving on to new technology, though.
Yes, so personally, I do. I'm not sure what advantage the new controller has for the PlayStation 5. Like, the issue I have a bit here is the fact that, as far as I can tell, there's no major improvements in terms of the hardware.
You can't fix what's not broken.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. So like, I don't know, if they were jumping from something like the Xbox controller all the way to something obscene like the Steam controller, then I could understand. Or like, it's completely different, but it just
Jumping from the GameCube to the Wii.
Yeah. Well, no, even those are backwards compatible. Not forwards compatible, but still, yeah. Twitter looking at a possible TikTok tie-up. Twitter's also looking to get TikTok along with Microsoft. It looks like a bunch of different companies are like, TikTok might look good if the Chinese have to sell it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Who would you prefer to get it?
I mean, Microsoft has zero social media presence, like, right? They have all of Xbox. Yeah, I guess Xbox counts as a social media service, but like, I don't like either. I mean, I guess I'd say Twitter, because Twitter isn't terrible about their data collection policies, while Microsoft has been pretty awful as of recently. Like Cortana is a terrible piece of garbage. And the fact that, I still hate the fact that for Windows search, whenever I search, and if my computer doesn't 100% think it knows what I want, it will search Bing on Microsoft Edge for some reason, despite the fact that I've never used Bing and I've never used Microsoft Edge. And it's very frustrating. I think I would say I'd like Twitter to have it more, but I don't know.
I think I would just prefer Twitter to have it just because, like you said earlier, Microsoft doesn't have as much of a social media.
Nope.
There is a big difference between running and managing video games versus social media.
And
Twitter's been up and alive for so long now that my feeling, they know what they're doing with social media.
Well, don't forget,
yes, videos is different, but
don't forget they're going to get every single employee based in the U.S. in a purchase deal. So it's not like they wouldn't know how to run it. It would just be... It's more the long-term goal that I am worried about. Also, after what Microsoft did to Mixer, why don't you have confidence in Twitter? Or in them with TikTok,
I wonder.
Yeah. Speaking of TikTok tracked user data using a tactic banned by Google. Basically, they encrypted a certain part of their service that would collect data, which is the exact same thing lots of different viruses do, where they encrypt themselves in order to hide. And as such, they've been tracking data without allowing people to opt out, which is just...
Do we know what data or
what?
So do we know what they were tracking?
I believe it was basically just cookies and whatnot to see what you were doing on your phone, where else you were going on the web. Basically to track you everywhere on your phone. Gosh, hang on. No, it's... So...
Am I robo voice.
You were there for a second when you were talking, but
How about now?
now you sound fine.
Okay. I don't like. I get the whole privacy thing. I personally just don't care when people track cookies. Just because it's like a. To me, it's more of like a personalization kind of thing. Like, if somebody can see what websites I'm using and visiting and stuff like that, and they can offer like obviously ads and stuff, but other, because basically all I do on the internet is watch random YouTube videos for hours on end.
So here,
So
keep
yeah.
talking.
No, so if they're just saying, oh, this person's watching a bunch of nature documentaries, animation videos, gameplay videos, comedy, random how to play harmonica in 3-second videos.
Oh God.
That was a good video.
Um.
No, but if they can just like keep doing stuff like that and just offer me more and more useless videos that I will absolutely watch at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm fine with it.
See, the issue I have is I have no idea who is buying my data. Like, for all I know, alright, it wouldn't be a very far stretch for a private entity to be purchasing my data, looking at me and going, who are you, and how can we influence you as best as possible? That is the issue I have with data collection stuff and the like. Where I have, if, for example, alright, I know who you are in real life, right? So, something I do every now and then personally is I Google myself and I try to figure out how people can find out who I am based off of just online. If I were to find you in the real world, alright, and I somehow got away, alright, it's generally not that hard to find someone's address, alright? You could find the address, you could find the IP address, you could probably purchase data from that IP address, and then you could look at what someone is doing anytime they go online. That is the scary thing, where someone could always know exactly what I'm doing online. That is what I do not like whatsoever about data collection. So, that and like GPS trackers, like I hate the fact that you can. I hate the fact that I have to upload part of my runs every morning up to a server that if it got hacked, someone could figure out exactly where I live and what my running habits are. And you could probably link that, because it's through my email address, to me in the real world, and that's just... No. Magic, you were going to say something?
I was going to say something and then I learned my lesson, and I'm going to verify that I'm correct before I say anything.
Ah, okay. What were you going to say? And we will, when you find out, we will be sure to adjust it properly.
So, if he ends up being wrong, you're just gonna flash on the screen in big ol' red letters, false, wrong.
It'll be in yellow lettering because that's what my default is for that specific font and text size, but yes.
But if he's correct, just a little green check mark and a ding.
You ain't getting that. I have to get the sound effect done. I gotta make sure it's a royalty-free sound effect. Just... no.
You know, you can just record you dinging on a bike.
So I'll avoid the issue by going very vague, but sometimes also algorithms can figure things out about you that, like, without having the ability to access all of your data, others would not be able to figure out about you.
Are you talking about the target pregnancy thing?
That's one, for instance.
Yeah, so there's the story of the dude who his daughter started getting things in the mail from Target saying, hey, about your upcoming baby, you should be ready. And he's like, my daughter's not pregnant. And he went and yelled at Target. And then his daughter revealed to him, hey, Dad, I actually am pregnant. So where the search algorithm reveals that you're pregnant in advance, like, that's...
But that goes back to the whole you don't know who's getting the data thing, basically.
Yep. Yeah, like, it's horrifying to me as someone who hikes. I occasionally get, like, targeted ads for car insurance where it's just like, hey, if you're going to be hiking a bunch and you don't need that car insurance running in the background, you can get car insurance that only works part of the time. And I was like, okay, this is terrifying. Where it's just upsetting to have that stuff thrown at you again and again and again. And
So, with that Target thing, did she know that she was pregnant?
Yes.
Like, she was, looking at all the stuff? Okay.
Yes. And then...
I thought you were saying that, like, she was just looking at random YouTube videos or something like that, and then Target's like, oh, you looked at this video and this video that have to do with baby kittens and baby puppies. Clearly you're pregnant.
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if you could find something that can flag things like that yeah.
So what I was specifically going to mention, but I cannot verify this, so take this with the tiniest grain of salt you've ever seen. I remember hearing somewhere that an algorithm was made that found mental illness through what you searched online. And no one knew exactly how it worked. The algorithm basically was one of those that, like, modified itself slightly.
Yep, it's a neural network.
Yeah, but I'm not able to find that at the moment to verify that claim.
Wouldn't that be a good thing, though?
Yeah, but no one knows, or no one at the time knew how the neural network was working.
So it's not the fact that it's how, it's the fact that Google could then flag you, hey, you have a mental illness, and you could sell that to advertisers. Like,
and you wouldn't know what triggered that.
Yep. So interestingly, on Facebook for a while, they had advertising categories for people that were interested in pseudoscience, where you could advertise to, like, anti-vaxxers specifically and stuff like that, which is just like
awesome.
Well, there's already a way for people to track mental illness online. It's called They Have League of Legends downloaded, and they play it on a consistent basis.
What, is it addiction, or is it depression, or what?
A bit of everything.
That's addiction and masochism bundled up into one, but that's also me playing XCOM too. Yeah. So.
Yeah, something's definitely wrong with you, though.
Yeah.
What are you up to? Like 800 hours or something?
I'm at 631. Thank you very much.
Those are low numbers for hours in the game, let me tell you.
Those are rookie numbers. You gotta pump those numbers up.
Real quick, Bagel. Are you just considering XCOM Chimera Squad, or
that's XCOM
all
2.
Of the XCOMs?
So Chimera Squad is actually, like, so I'm at 631 for XCOM 2. XCOM EU, mostly EW, but they're lumped together, is 287. So 287 plus.
So you're at 800 hours of XCOM.
631 plus. I'm at 918, and then I have 56 in Chimera Squad. Oh, I'm almost at 1,000. I am 26 hours away from 1,000, so that's one campaign of any of the games. Oh my god.
But careful.
Oh boy,
you're putting this podcast on the internet. How dare people know that you're almost 1,000 hours into XCOM games?
Liz, I'm almost 3 days worth of time away from 1,500 hours of EU4.
And you haven't completed a single game, have you?
No, I have completed games. I just haven't completed any of the achievements.
I've got a friend who is 1,800 hours into EU4, and he's like, I'm about to finish my first game, guys.
No, I finished one game, alright? It was also modded, so I don't think I've actually completed a base game game. But
don't you also have to mod EU4 basically?
EU4 base game is almost unplayable for certain countries. However, they've been doing a better job of moving some of the more vital aspects of the earlier DLC into the base game. So it's not as unplayable as it was. And this is unplayable as in, like, you have to do shenanigans in order to do the things that you want to do, but it's not, like, unplayable as in it's a terrible game. I want to make that clear. Like, you couldn't, you couldn't, declare independence and have allies in that independence war in the base game. So, like, if you want to play as America and declare independence on Great Britain, you have to do that without any allies, while Great Britain has all of its allies. And that's the way it worked in the base game. I don't know if I don't think that that's one of the things that they moved into the game, but it's just one of those things. It's like, yeah, some of the DLC is mandatory, basically.
As you said, wow, they're selling EU4 for $1. Wow, they've got so much DLC, it doesn't matter.
I mean, like, I think some of the earlier DLC is now, like, $5 or less. So that's at least better than it was when it came out first. Also, Motorboat, thanks for flexing on us. I see that you're You're only 300 hours away from that 3K mark.
I honestly thought I was past the 3K mark. I'll be honest.
Is that so? So that translates to 113 days worth of playtime.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I've been
That's
playing
just
this game
League?
for 8 years now.
Is that just League?
Yes,
Or is that okay?
that is
Dang.
just League.
See, I wish they got rid of the stats for Halo Reach, but I think I had close to 1,700 hours in Halo Reach multiplayer when I stopped playing it.
I can believe that. You played a lot of that.
Oh my god, it was my bread and butter. Hey, I wonder if they finally fixed the Halo games, because now I have spending money.
Gosh, that would be a nightmare to see how many hours of my life I've played Minecraft.
Oh, God.
Oh, you can see those. I have looked those up before.
Does that say all of your hours of Minecraft or all of your hours after a certain point?
No, it's all of your hours in each single world, in a single world. Shoot.
Oh, well, that's not useful
Well,
at all, because half of my worlds are separated up between, like, 3 computers.
As someone who made backup saves of everything and pretty much only played a single map, it was very insightful to see the, like, 500 hours I poured into that game.
I will say, though, this does factor in 3.5 years of competitive play in the game for college. So
Still,
there's a lot
like,
of time.
you poured almost a year? No.
Yeah, it's a third of a year.
A third of a
Third of
year
his year.
into
Mhm.
the game.
Yes. A lot of time in college was spent on this game. Instead of going out with friends, it was, alright, we're gaming tonight, boys.
So at that highest, that's like practically, so a third of a year. So that's what, like, practically what, 1/60th of your life at the very highest it could possibly be without without doxing your age.
Yeah. There were, when me and my friend were like the head of the competitive teams, it was very easily, it could be very easily assumed that we were playing more than 50 hours a week
Holy
while
crap.
in college. We would grind a good, probably at least 5 hours a day, if not more.
Hey, is this working? Hey, is it working? Hey, cool. All right, we're back. Sorry about that.
So you've spent nearly 1.5% of your life playing League.
I fully believe that. Yep, that makes sense to me.
Wow. Wow.
It's that competitiveness, you know.
I haven't spent that much time backpacking, and you're doing that for like hours and days on end.
Although backpacking requires you to buy gas, drive to a location, proceed backpacking, while League requires push button, click game, play game.
Yeah, so it's
League
very
requires
easy.
you to inject heroin.
It's so true.
Oh my gosh. Ugh.
No, because heroin would slow your reflexes.
Sorry, my bad. You take methamphetamines. Like,
Amphetamines,
There we
yeah.
go. There we go. Now we're playing with the real juicing.
oh my gosh. Ugh.
But yeah, so not proud of it, but
But not ashamed of it either.
yeah, at this
As
point
you
I've
should
kind
be.
of embraced it.
Embrace
So.
the disappointment that is life.
What is it on Steam? Steam database. Get disappointed in your life, TM.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on right into another privacy-related topic. Police use of facial recognition violates human rights. UK court rules. Thank God. Oh my gosh, I am so happy.
I want to clarify that's not what it says. It says that the current usage of facial recognition technology goes against human rights.
Yes.
Which was the problem what they had was adding people in a certain way to the watch list was the problem, and not the facial recognition technology itself.
It's still a step in the right direction. We need a leap in the right direction. Cause
Well, it's a step that could easily be moved around. So I'm saying it's probably more like a halting in the direction it was moving, not a movement in any different direction.
Yeah.
It's important to make sure that we're not getting our hopes up for anything when it comes
Yeah,
to
but
things like
it
that.
has been hailed the victory as the world's first legal challenge to police use of facial recognition, which is very, very important. You need to start
My
somewhere.
question of this would be, when the technology improves, do you think it'll be more accepted? Because basically the first thing that I read was that 2,300 of 2,500 matches were false positives. And I think that would be a major point of people's rights being infringed upon. Because, like, if the technology is saying, hey, this person is a person of interest, watch them, kind of thing, for 92% of the people that it flags is this is a person of interest, they're just average people. I think that, like, personally to me, like, that's what I would consider more of an invasion of privacy. Like, so if the software got better, so if it was saying, like, let's say only 50% were false positives, that's still a huge number of being false positives, but say we got it down to 50-50, this person's definitely person of interest, this person is not. Like, would that change, not necessarily like this order, obviously, but would that change the severity of the violation?
My interpretation is that we're already living in a mega corporation, technological dystopia, and any steps we can do to avoid the entire genre is better than nothing.
So for me personally, all right, I think the best example of why facial recognition is absolutely terrible. All right, there's two really great examples. The first is the fact that there's facial recognition technology which can take pictures of you now, and it can find pictures of you as a small child. So, like, there's a picture of a dude, right? The dude was 40, okay? The AI behind the facial recognition found pictures of him now, and then it found a picture that someone posted of a photo from, like, when he was 11. And it's like, oh, I was living in a different country then. This is me, and you have somehow found me in the most obscure possible way, Like, I don't want someone to be able to find me everywhere. Like, why do you need to know where I am? Why do you need to know what I've been doing?
I know you're not
Why
a
do
big
you
person
care?
for social media, but have you seen like people getting mad at everyone about all the throwback stuff that people put, where they put like them at different ages, and it's just helping facial recognition technology
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that?
I hate stuff like that. So I will speak more on this from a personal standpoint. I recently took down just about every single YouTube video that has my face in it. I took down every single YouTube video where I use a real name. I do have a small section of stuff on a separate channel from Bagelmode that I haven't been able to bring myself to pull down. But I have lots of stuff where I have just...
Top quality videos on that channel. Just saying.
There is a great video of the two of us
they're
running
okay.
around Devil's Lake, Wisconsin, when it's like -5 or something stupid. And then, oh god, there's a lot of stuff I want to be able to put on the internet, but with facial recognition, I've been forced to tear it down. I am just absolutely terrified. That's why I Google myself constantly. I'm gonna beep that, honestly, because I think that's too revealing. But yeah, no.
Well,
Wait, what'd you
let's
say?
go with the
I think you
whole-
lost the
let's-
connectivity there for a second.
Let's go with the most dystopian situation possible.
Oh,
So, the
yep.
Chinese social credit system.
Or no,
Imagine if you could automatically do that with technology.
so it gets worse than that. So, in case you didn't know, right? There's a part of China near Mongolia. All right, I forget the name of it, but there's a ethnic group called the Uyghur Muslims who live there. They're very different than traditional Sunni and Shia Muslims because they're very... I think they're... Don't quote me on this. I am very sorry that I don't understand your religion properly. I would be happy to learn more, but I am right now in the middle of a podcast, and yeah. So they're more oh gosh, they're different. That's all I'll say. Never mind. Let's not dig myself this hole any deeper. But one of the things the Chinese are doing is they're basically trying to stamp them out. So they're sending them to re-education camps and the like, and they're now sending them to be forced laborers, aka slavery. And they use facial recognition there, and you can get flagged by facial recognition through very basic things. So, like, if you went and you talked to someone who you don't normally talk to, you can get flagged by facial recognition, and you can be then sent to a re-education camp. Stuff like that, where that is like... that is the most extreme example, and that is the thing I am terrified of. Like... A great example is also the Minority Report movie, where there's a system that detects crimes before they happen, but it turns out it's doing it wrong. Long story short, so it's I am terrified of facial recognition, and I don't feel safe with it.
I just searched my name. There are so many obituaries that come
Oh my
up
god.
for... Like, yeah, people I know and stuff like that, but just people, I have no idea who the heck these people are, or why my name is searching these people.
So I typed in your name on DuckDuckGo, and the first thing is a picture of someone getting married, and I'm like, that is very clearly not her.
What? You don't think I could get married?
No, you
For
couldn't.
all the
Anyways,
podcast listeners, no, I am not going to get married soon at all. So.
Oh, this was the big thing that immediately popped up. I will just message you. Oh no, I can't message you stuff because I'm recording the Discord. But no. Yeah.
Now you can open another tab on another display.
No, because I'm
Well,
running
I
Discord.
feel like let's continue on with the podcast because I feel like this is something we could do after.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have anything more you'd like to say about facial recognition?
Nah.
All right. U.S. spending on video game products continues to break records because everyone's trapped inside during COVID. It's no surprise.
Did you
What?
skip the Charter tries to convince FCC that broadband customers want data caps?
We can get back to that after this.
Yeah. I just figured I'd throw this out there if anyone cares. We've been skipping around a lot because there's a lot of related topics that were posted out of order. But yeah, record-breaking video game spending, no surprise there. Yeah, let's go to that. Charter tries to convince FCC that broadband consumers want data caps. No, we don't. No, we don't.
Not at all.
Fun fact, data caps only harm the consumer. They don't help. They don't do anything for the company because it doesn't cost you any more to send more data to the same customer over and over again.
The cost comes from infrastructure, not from the data itself, right?
Yes. There's a tiny amount that comes from running the infrastructure, but it's there's no reason to charge a consumer for data caps. Like, it's very frustrating that there are data caps on mobile data for some stupid reason. It does not it costs them pennies to send us another gigabyte, and I'm being charged like $15 for each gigabyte, and it's such an infuriating thing.
Especially when a gigabyte's weight is stood on like background data that you don't even know that's happening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's incredibly frustrating to have advertisements be the data that pushes you over a data cap, and it's just like, you are kidding me. Long story short, Charter, who purchased Time Warner Cable, FYI, they filed a response to the FCC saying that plans with data caps are popular. You know why they're popular? Because they're the cheapest ones that everyone sells, and the unlimited data caps, for whatever reason, cost a lot of money. I'm gonna move to Canada.
Take me with you.
I want to move out of the U.S., but that's a conversation for another time.
When we're not banned from half the world.
There is no escape. The U.S. is the world.
God.
Like, I'm getting my master's degree in running, but that's neither here nor there.
Bleep it. Don't let the world know.
Charter neglected to mention that home internet providers generally don't charge customers less when they don't use much less data. Most customers use either 10 gigabytes or 1. It's the same cost regardless. Most consumers aren't using that much. You're just screwing over consumers that are using a lot, like me. Like, this is... We gotta fix internet in the U.S. We really gotta.
Would you rather have Australian internet?
No, because it's expensive there, and their cables are terrible. But we could have European internet, or we could have Korean internet, and I would be happy with either of those outcomes.
I would love to have Korean internet.
Oh my god. What if we gave everyone the same size fiber optic cable that's laying across the Atlantic Ocean in their houses? We would create Korea. Not really, but it would be awesome. Roku and lots of other consumer groups said that data cap should be a relic of the past. Yes. Please.
Have you guys ever had a data cap on your internet bill, like in your house?
Yes. My data cap for my parents' house is 1 terabyte.
Same. Yeah.
Yep. We can't download more than 1 terabyte. I don't think I've ever come close. I think I came close to hitting it when I was getting started with my newest edition of the computer that I'm running right now. But yeah, I've not ever hit it, but I think it's bull crap. Like,
my roommates in college and I broke it 5-6 times.
How much did you get hit for? Do you know?
Huh?
How much did it cost you?
I want to say it was anywhere between, might have been $20 to $25 per like 10 gigs you go over.
Oh, Oh my god.
Yeah, it was something insane like that.
Oh my god. At that point, I would like go to a school library and just bring a hard drive. Like,
Just use school computers to play League. That's all you need to do.
Well, no,
Well, it's-
because
gaming actually uses very little data, which I think
we had a lot of streams open.
yeah,
A good chunk of the time.
streaming and downloading.
Oh,
If you're
yeah.
torrenting, like Saint Prophet, I can neither confirm nor deny whether he torrented, but I can state that he would occasionally be pushing in something like 5 terabytes a month and pushing out like 1 to 2 terabytes. Like,
Jesus.
yeah, he was very busy in high school. That's the most I will say. So no, it is, oh my god, 20 for 10 gigs and just
I don't remember exactly what
Okay.
it was, but I just remember it being like, we kept being like, okay, well, we're
it's still frustrating. That's just
the main thing I
Okay.
think that annoyed us was you get like 1 gig over and it'd be like, all right.
Knowing that I'm
money.
going to make a fool of myself, I will still ask this. What does torrenting mean?
torrenting is where you upload something and you say everyone can use this product. And so I could upload the Boardroom podcast as a torrent, and you could download it as a torrent. Okay, the most common use of torrents is for piracy.
Yeah.
We should make it very clear that the Boardroom Podcast is not a fan of pirates. Official statement.
Excuse me.
no-
I love Jack Sparrow as a pirate. He is amazing.
I
Do not put words into my mouth.
advocate for certain types of piracy. I do not advocate for lots of other types of piracy. But yes, if you the type of oh my gosh, we are over an hour, but that's okay. One of the types of piracy I personally advocate for is for if you own a movie on like VHS or DVD or something, and you just want to put it on your computer forever. That is a type of piracy I am very okay with. Like, why do I have to rebuy so many different types of media? Why do I have to rebuy my music? Why do I have to rebuy movies? Like, I do not, however, advocate for piracy in terms of doing something like playing a game that you have not paid for. Like, if you want to pirate Doom Eternal, alright, first off, you probably should pirate Doom Eternal just to stick it to id for putting de novo anti-cheat on there, but that's a whole other story. I don't approve of that. That is something I personally don't approve of. But like, another thing that angers me, alright, rentals for digital downloads. Oh my god.
I
costs
hate
you-
YouTube for that.
It costs you $4 to rent a digital movie for 24 hours, or you could pay $12 to own it forever. What?
Mhm.
What? It makes sense with a physical copy, alright? I understand why I have to pay $1 to rent a DVD, okay? I do not understand why I have to pay, like, $4 to rent a digital copy. It costs you the same amount of bandwidth to send it to me permanently as it does for you to send it to me temporarily. Do we want to talk about how Amazon's gonna take over dead malls after it killed the malls? It's literally
What's it-
becoming a parasite.
Corporation, and it's taking over its hosts.
Yep.
No,
What's a dead mall?
So malls die when, business doesn't go into them anymore.
Oh, mall. I thought you were saying like MAUL, like the hammer.
Like-
I was very confused. I'm like,
you have been
How do
playing
you
D&D
kill 'em?
too much for the first
Mark-
thing. When you
Josh,
say mall.
hush.
Shoot, I was
Darth-
thinking Amazon has taken over Darth Maul and is now coming to kill Obi-Wan, but...
No, I thought he was talking like it was like a band name or something like that. Like,
Darth
was like,
Brothers Death.
what?
So yeah, they're gonna take over JCPenney stores and Sears and turn them into distribution centers, as if they didn't need more of a stranglehold over the American consumer. This has been a very pro-consumer and anti-business podcast this week.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us in the boardroom, unless anyone else has anything to add.
I love playing Ark Survival Evolved. I hate the graphics for it.
Get a better PC. Bye!
Bye.